Cheers guys, thanks for joining me for another beer review. Before we get cracking with this beer review, I have put a post up on my page. It's in the community section. If you don't see it, go on to my channel and then there should be a section at the top, home, playlist, this, that and the other, community, and it'll be on there. And it's regarding, I'm going to quickly tell you anyway, but it's regarding the draw yesterday for the free beer that I was giving away. Having trouble at the moment just getting the address of this chap. Obviously it's hard to talk to each other and give personal details out, and the guy isn't on Facebook, and I have said about Twitter and Instagram, but it's a little bit tricky, so I just need a final detail off him really. If I get that off the man, I will be sending the beers out to him. But if I don't hear anything by sort of 5 o'clock tomorrow night, because the beers are short dated, I would like to get them sorted and posted out to somebody ASAP. So if I don't hear off this guy, Kyle Law 86, if I don't hear off him and can manage to get his address off him, I'll be redoing the draw tomorrow. I've got the bloody cats here now doing my head in, so bear with me. I swear they do it on purpose, the cats. As soon as you sit down and put this on, they're there, aren't they? Anyway, where was I? Yeah, if I don't hear off Kyle Law or I can't get his address sorted out, there'll be another draw done tomorrow. It won't be live, I'll just do a quick video of it. There will not be any new entries. All the people that entered originally through the comments on the post, and the few that entered during the live will be entered. They are the only ones. I will only be posting to the UK just to get that sorted. And remember, you somehow need to be able to contact me. Yes, we can sort of do a couple of things through here, but ideally, you've either got to be willing to quickly pop your email. You've either got to be willing to somehow pop your email address, phone number, or your normal address on YouTube, which is a little bit dodgy, or you need to be on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, so you can send me a message. Obviously, my channel thing on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram is all the beer, no idea. So yeah, so if it does happen, if he doesn't contact me and I do the draw again, I need to be able to contact the winner somehow. We may have to sort things out. If it comes down to it, I have a works page on Facebook, which I can hand out the name of that works page, and I'm pretty certain my mobile number is on there. So if it does come down to it, we can somehow manage to get to talk to each other. But yeah, that is what is going to happen. So the ones that entered are still in, maybe, possibly, with a shout of winning some beers. So that's it, yeah. I'm going to stop waffling on now. Let's get on with the beer review. So it's a beer that I picked up from a local pub. They do a lot of craft stuff. A very decent bar, to be honest. They have all sorts on tap and they have cans. And the last time I was in there, they recommended that I try this, and because they just know I'm a sucker and I'll spend money. So what we've got is a beer now. It's from a brewery from North Yorkshire, and it's from Brass Castle. And this is a can of their Burnout, and it's a Beechwood smoked porter. It's coming in at 5.8%, nearly said 4.8%. It's coming in at 5.8%. Plain kind of label, but I don't dislike it. I do like that bit they do on the side with the writing. Very nice indeed. It's in a 440ml can, and it's cost me £4. What they do at the Bailey Head, so if you're somewhere around Oswestry, pop in the Bailey Head. They have some cracking beers on, real ales, the lot. And I think you tend to, if you sit in and have the beer, they charge you £1 more. So it should have been a £5, because it was a takeaway. It was £4, so it sort of comes in at a standard supermarket price, really, doesn't it, these days, the way it's going. So yeah, let's stop talking rubbish. I think I've only had one from them before. And let's get it cracked open and see what we get. Now, I've got to admit, I've had my Sunday dinner and I am as dry as a board. So this is probably not the ideal beer to be having when you're dry as a board. What I really need is probably having that Camden Ales in me bloody PD, but I've still got the ghost ship at the moment. But we'll roll with it. We'll roll with it. I fancy something a little bit different. I've got a lot of IPAs in there. I'll maybe do one of them after. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. So, beer in a glass. I'm going to do the old screen thing again, like I always do. Beer in a glass. I'm holding it up against the light. Very, very, very little light coming through the very bottom. So I'm going to that's nigh on jet black. It certainly looks jet black in the camera. We've got a good finger and a half of compact tan head. I need to start thinking of paint colours, what I can call the colour of these heads. But it looks decent. I'm seeing a few bubbles coming up the side. It's a Beechwood. Ooh, I get that on, you get that on the old hot dogs, don't you? When they smoke hot dogs and that with Beechwood. Normally smells really nice, and bacon. So I'm looking forward to the smell of this. So let's dive in with the nose and see what we get. Yeah, you get that you get that typical sort of Beechwood sort of aroma. It's not massive in your face sort of thing. I was maybe expecting it to be a bit more punchier, but it is there. Yeah, it's lovely. You've got that typical sort of, I know it's a porter, but you've got that typical sort of stouty sort of aroma in there. Roasty, coffee. Not massive coffee, that sort of, you've got the smokiness sort of intruding on that. But yeah, it's roasty coffee with that lovely smokiness there. It smells like barbecue, bonfire sort of thing, that sort of smoke sort of thing. Smells lovely, really does smell good. So let's stop sniffing, let's get tasting and give this a go. Cheers everyone. Now I don't know if it's me or not. It's probably not. It's probably just a little bit different to what I was expecting. Go in again. 5.8. So you're thinking, hang on, that's quite a reasonably heavy beer. It's not massively heavy though, is it? 5.8 in all honesty. But for a porter at 5.8, that's got quite a decent body. I'm not going to say it's thick or heavy, but it's got a little bit more weight behind it. Porters do tend to be thinner, lighter. Again, no massive sort of fizz in there. It's just a gentle sort of bubbles on the inside of your mouth. I'm not going to say it's particularly smooth. Again, although the body is quite good for this being a porter, it's still reasonably light just for a standard beer, for the sort of beer it is. Well, not for the beer it is, but for a beer. It's reasonably light. It's not big heavy one. So yeah, the mouthfeel isn't the smoothest because you do get that little gush of carbonation on the back end. So that just roughens up the mouthfeel. Taste-wise, it's changing because I've had a few mouthfuls, but initially it was big and roasty on the front. You really did sort of pick up that smokiness after a few mouthfuls. I mean, what was coming in after that, right on the back end from the first mouthful, was a really big sort of fruitiness, I would say. Sort of almost blackcurrant kind of fruit sort of flavour in there, right on the back end. Now the palate's adjusted, you're not getting so much of that roastiness. That fruitiness is coming more to the forefront for me. It's sort of mixing a bit with this, the typical sort of stouty porter sort of flavour. So yeah, it's sort of, you're losing, for me, the more you drink it, you're losing that roastiness to a certain extent because it's getting overtaken by that sort of fruity flavour in here. And then, if anything, it's sort of changed a little bit. What you were getting at the start has now sort of gone back to front a little bit. The fruitiness is more prominent at the front. The roastiness is more on the back end. It's that little bit of bitterness. That's going now. The fruitiness has gone, the bitterness is gone, and the roastiness kicks in again on the back end. 5.8%. You don't really get the sort of feel that it's a 5.8% beer. Do I like it? I'll be honest with you. It's not my cup of tea. Now, I like a porter, but it just feels to have too much of that fruity flavour in there. The fruity flavour is quite overpowering, personally, for me, I find. I don't know what the ingredients are. They're saying malted barley, malted wheat, hops yeast. And that's all it's telling you, to be honest. It's not telling you the hops or nothing. I mean, it's going to come down to personal taste. Like I say, it's got very much a sort of... You would expect a dark fruit sort of flavour in there. Being a porter, you'd expect some of that. But it's quite a tart, sort of blackberry sort of fruitiness to it. And it's quite strong in there. I would rather a little bit less. The smokiness as well, you kind of lose the smokiness a little bit in the drink. Get it on the nose, you get it to start off with, and then that sort of tails off a bit. You don't get so much of that smokiness. It's probably in there in the background, but you kind of lose track of it. Anyway, I've waffled on for nearly 12 minutes. So what do I think of it? I appreciate the beer for what it is. I do feel it's a little bit too much fruit sort of comes in on it. It's not personally my cup of tea, but you know, that might be your thing. So if you do see this one, Burnout Beechwood Smoked Porter from Brass Castle, give it a go. If you've had it before, let me know what you think. Like I say, don't forget, there's a chance that you could win some beers tomorrow. Let's just see how it goes. Hopefully Kyle Law will be in touch, because I'd rather give the beers to him because he won the original one. But if we don't sort anything out, we're going to have to do it again. Waffled on. Like and share the video. Feel free to subscribe. Thank you all for watching. And a big thank you again yesterday. You made that a great hour. And I will see you again soon on another beer review. Cheers.